Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Brittany and I upload lots and lots of new makeup content every single week. So if you like makeup content, if you just want to hang out, have a good time, talk about some makeup, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate you so much. And to those of you who are returning viewers, thank you, you are the best. Okay, so I'm so excited for today's video because I love ranking style videos. I love eyeshadow palettes, put them together, and you've got my favorite kind of video. So if you like rankings, if you like eyeshadow palettes, then go get a snack, get comfy, and let's hang out. So I have got 7 eyeshadow palettes in front of me today to rank for you all. This does not include my Pat McGrath Labs new Mothership palettes that I picked up from her epic, iconic, amazing glitch sale that happened in March. I have got a complete separate video ranking all of my Pat McGrath Labs palettes, so if you would like to watch that, then I will link that for you, but because it was just like kind of repetitive to rank those because I just did. So this is just going to be 7 other palettes that I have tried this month that I have been loving. I have got, honestly, out of all the 7, before I get started, let me just say all 7 are amazing. They're so beautiful. I'm so glad to have them in my collection, but you know, whenever you do rankings, they've got to last somewhere. Someone has to come last. You know, I hate to tell you, but one of these palettes have to come last. And in that spot, it is the Colourpop Daisy Does It palette. Now, this palette is beautiful. I mean, look at this packaging. Colourpop kills it every single time with their packaging. I had to have this palette. My dog's name, well, her name's River, but her middle name is Daisy. And I just saw this palette and I thought of her. She's a golden retriever and she's just like so goofy. Plus it's spring. This is like a perfect spring palette. I love flowers. We redid our whole garden this weekend. We just had so much fun. And every time I look at this palette, I feel inspired to just like be fun. And I always I use this and I normally top it with a Super Shock. That's kind of how I utilize this palette. I'm not going to say it's boring, but she's a little plain. But honestly, this palette, what I love about it is this dark, deep, grungy green. It can kind of like elevate every look to kind of take it there for me. I love that you get 2 Super Shocks in here. Also, this beautiful, like, I don't know, it's like a, you know, that popular NARS blush. This is that shade, and I really like how you get this pretty green right here. It's just a very well-rounded palette for spring, for like a neutral girl. I will say with this palette, the shimmers don't give you like a very punch, like you have to really build them up, same as the mattes, and they do have lots of kick up, but other than that, I really do like this palette. Coming in at number 6 is from NOMAD Cosmetics, and this is the Paradise Islands palette. This is perfect for spring and summer. I love the brand. If you do not know who NOMAD Cosmetics is, you need to check them out. They are an amazing indie brand, and they really do good for the environment. And let's just talk about this packaging. I love the ocean and I love eyeshadow palettes. You put those together and you got like my favorite palette, okay? On the inside, I love how they organized it. So you got all these warm tones like the peaches and the pinks. Such a genius idea. And then you have greens and like this beautiful duochrome blue green. So it's just, I love how you can see like oranges and pinks. You can do a green look, you could do a blue look, a purple look. If I know this may seem like a large palette, but if you just kind of take a minute and see how it's laid out, you can get a very fast look. I love the formula, I love the shimmers, I love the little embossments on all the pans. This palette's amazing. It's coming in at number 6, not because of like the bad formula or anything. It's just because I don't reach for this color story all the time. This is like a companion palette. I will pull this in, and honestly, I don't have too many colorful eyeshadows in my collection, which is another reason why I wanted to pick this up. If I ever need a blue or like a bright coral, I'm reaching for this. But don't get me wrong, I do love just going into this and getting a beautiful, fun spring and summer look. And I do have, I believe I have reviews on almost all of these palettes in my little ranking today, so if you want to watch like more videos on this, and I will just link this as well. Coming in at number 5, this is from Nabla. This is a cutie palette in Analog. This is like a small 6-pan. I've always wanted to try Nabla's formula, and honestly, this palette suckered me in because of the shade Overexposed. It's just like a very pretty peach. I'm obsessed with it. My daughter's obsessed with it too. We love it. And the formula is really good. Like, it blew me away. Also bought like side palette side by side. I don't remember what it's called, but I bought that for my mom and she's been loving it. So NOMAD may be like underrated, but their eyeshadow palettes are so good. They have a really good formula, and I love how you can like go very like daytime, or you can like make it smoky. This is just a very well-rounded 6-pan palette, and you can get so many looks with it. Coming in at number 4 is the Pat McGrath Labs in collaboration with Bridgerton. This is the round 2 collection that they did together, and this palette is so good and beautiful. I'm obsessed with this packaging. It is so pretty, and the formula in here is perfection. I love this so much because it's so vibrant, and this highlighting shade right here, it's so beautiful. It's way better than the first round if you ask me. You get this stunning, very shimmery, glittery Eyeshadow blitz up here that elevates every single look. It just gives it a little bit more oomph. It just like really takes it from here to there. This yellow, green, gold, whatever you want to call it, it's beautiful and stunning. Honestly, it's my favorite shade in the palette. Shocker, I know. This blue, I don't reach for it all the time, but you know, she's fun. She's cute. I really do love popping this in. It's very like spring-esque. And the mattes, they're very good. They're, you know, they're so blendable and pigmented. That's what I love about Pat McGrath, her mattes. Like, you gotta be careful, don't get me wrong, but they're so good. Like, you can get this super dark, or you can just get a very simple crease shade, and that's what I love, how versatile this palette is. This is an artistry palette. You don't have to just use this on your eyes. For instance, you can use these two as blushes. I use this as a blush all the time, just very lightly because it's very pigmented. And then I use this as a highlighter, and it's beautiful. It's blinding, but she's beautiful. I don't know. I love this palette. I always keep it out. I've reached for this so much. Follow me on Instagram because I've got tons of reels of all these palettes. Okay, so now we are in the top 3, and coming in at number 3 is this one from Colourpop. This is the Star Wars Mandalorian, the child palette. Don't be mad at me. I don't watch Star Wars, so I don't know. I just got it because I love greens, okay? And everyone raves about this formula. And let me tell you, they rave about it for a good reason. This palette is the best formula that I have ever tried from Colourpop. For example, like the Daisy Does It, it's just kind of like a mediocre formula. Like, it's okay. But if it wasn't like covered in daisies, I don't think I would have got it. But this palette is so good. The quality is amazing. And if you're a lover of greens, I'm telling you, this is like a dream palette. You're going to love it. And it's affordable. So this one right here is a Super Shock, and it's so pretty. All the shimmers are so blinding. The mattes are very pigmented. They're blendable. You don't get much kick up. And I really love how they incorporated this really dark, rich brown. This is such a well-rounded little 9-pan palette. I love this, and I'm so glad that I finally picked it up. I was going to on Colourpop's website to place a haul because they had a sale. I was going to get this, the Daisy Does It palette, the Tinkerbell palette, which they don't have anymore, some Super Shocks, just make a good haul. And when I saw this, I was like, I'm so glad that they still have this in stock because it's so good. I was scared I was going to miss out on it. But yeah, I love this. Now, I don't like the little frog down here, like the shimmer in it, but it still blends good. That's the only shade in the palette that I'm just like, it's okay. But all the other ones I really do love. And the little frog, it's still fine. I just, you know, I can live without the shimmer in it. But that's just my opinion. I just love all of it. Now the Force, it's more chunky. It's not like a typical like shimmer. Like this is a Super Shock. This is like their normal metallics. And this is a little bit more glittery, but it's not like a glitter. I don't know, this palette is so beautiful, and every time I wear it, everyone asks me what I'm wearing because my green eyes just pop with it. This is such a good one from Colourpop. If you are wondering, like, what Colourpop palette do I need and you love greens, I think you would really enjoy this one. Okay, so now we're in the top 2, and for number 2, it's a very newer palette to my collection. I almost didn't even rank it in April. I was going to rank it in May, but I have used this over 10 times, and I think that is fine. You know, I know the palette, I know the quality, so I'm going to rank it because I have been using it every single day since I got it, except for today, because number 1's on my eyes today. And this is the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette. Look at this packaging. It's so pretty. Yes, the packaging is what sold me on it. And I have always wanted to try Lunar Beauty eyeshadows. I have never tried them. This is my first one because the others were a little bit more colorful, if you will. I almost got the Eclipse one, but I was like, you know, I'm just going to wait. I'm so glad I did because this palette, it's very good. It's huge, but it's really good. You get a massive mirror, and I love how he organized the shades. So I love how the top row, it's like very light tones, some pastel-y colors, like very soft. And then you have all your metallics down here, and then you have the deeper tones right here. So the metallic, okay, so let me just give you like an overall little rundown on this palette, okay? Mattes in this, they are very like beginner friendly, and when I say that, I mean they're not too pigmented right at the beginning. You can build them up. I will say that you get some kick up in the pans and the darker shades. They are so pigmented. Just be careful to tap it off so you don't get fallout, but this is a very beginner like friendly palette as far as the formula goes. Now the metallics, they are very similar to a Super Shock shadow in my opinion. They are almost wet and kind of like putty if you press in the pan. They are very subtle. They do take some building up. They have a beautiful sparkle, but it's nothing like out of this world. It's probably not gonna blow your skirt up if you want like that bright, intense, like metallic shine. This is not what that is. You have to build it up, and it's still very soft and subtle, but yet beautiful, and like that just, oh, it's so pretty when you get it on the eyes. And I think if you have mature lids, you would really enjoy this palette because these shimmers, they're not the type that like sticks to all your texture and the folds in your lids. It really just has like an even coat on your eye, which is what I really love about it. So I think so many people will get such good use out of this because the metallic formula is so unique, and it's not like a typical metallic that enhances all of your texture, and it's not just beaming, and you don't get any fallout with this formula like the metallics go. And as far as like the color story, yes, it's basic. Is it boring? You know, it is, but that's what I wanted. That's why I got this palette, because I have got so many like warm tones. I have so many cool tones, but I don't have any neutral tones in my collection. I have to go in like 5 palettes to get like a neutral look. Now the mini Biba is what I go to if I want a very neutral color story, but that still can go a little bit too warm for me. So I love how this is neutral. I will throw this in my makeup bag with like a powdered foundation, my makeup brush, this mascara, his lip gloss, and I'm good to go, because I can use this as a highlighter, obviously eyeshadow. I can go into this as blush and bronzer. So this is like a one and done palette for me. I would call this like an artistry palette, if you will. It's eyeshadow, but I use it as a face palette as well if I'm not going to bring his blush palette with me, because I have been on the go this weekend. We've been going to like Home Depot, we've been buying flowers and mulch, we did our flower bed, we went out to eat, we went to Target, like you name it. We just had errands to run, we got groceries, and every single day I didn't have time to get ready like at the house. I had to go get ready in the car. My husband was driving, and you know, I'm that girl putting on makeup in the car, and everyone's like, oh, can't you just do that at home? Yeah, well, I can't. I'm doing it in the car, and that's what I love about this palette. You can just grab it and you've got everything you need right here. So that is how I've been utilizing this palette. I think this palette is amazing, and I'm so glad that I finally have it in my collection, that I was able to try Lunar Beauty's eyeshadow palette formula. Now I know that this is a different formula than his previous palettes, but it's beautiful, it's amazing, and I'm so glad that I have it in my collection. And his lip oils, like, they are so good. And his blush palette, this was an amazing collection. I have yet to try the sponge, but I'm going to before my daughter takes it. Yeah, that entire collection was bomb. Not only is it beautiful, it is good quality. So I'm so glad I have it. And let's talk about the palette that is coming in the #1 spot. Can you guess it? I bet you can't. If you know me at all, I already know you know what I'm talking about. This is the Adept Cosmetics and Heather Austin eyeshadow palette. They did such a good job. Heather did an amazing job picking out this color story, and she is a YouTuber on here. If y'all don't know her, like, go check her out. She's so sweet and beautiful. She's so talented. She's one of my favorites. I watch almost every single video she uploads. She inspires me so much. She's the one that got me into color, and look how beautiful this palette is. And these shades are so shifty. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. I've got so many reels up with this because it is so hard to reach for all my other eyeshadow palettes and test them out, because I just want to grab for this every single day. You can see how shifty they are, like in the mirror versus right here. This palette's beautiful. The quality is amazing. The mattes are so blendable. They are pigmented. I do not get any fallout with them. But the star of the show for me are these metallics, like the shade Passport, Austin, Smith is... Honestly, all of them are beautiful. Today I have got the shade Scrubs on, and I've got Passport layered on it with a little bit of Austin. I put PA2, Atlas, all in the crease. I'm telling you, this is amazing. I have fallen in love with indie eyeshadows because of this. I'm telling you, this quality is top tier, amazing. If I could only keep one eyeshadow palette. If you're like, Brittany, you gotta leave your house right now, you get one makeup product, I'm keeping this because it's that good. And it's really opened my eyes to like indie brands, and going forward, like mainstream brands, they're fine, but I'm gonna start focusing more towards indie brands because they're better. Their quality is good. The brand owners are so nice. So let me know your favorite indie brand, because this really like took my breath away in the best way possible. I am just in love. It's been so long, honestly, since I think the Natasha Denona Gold palette, that really just like got me in my feelings, like got my heart going, you know. This is so good. Honestly, these pigments, like, I'm just gonna swatch a little bit. Like, I can't do all of them because I don't want to waste them, because this is limited edition. But I mean, they're so beautiful. There's so many videos up with this palette for inspiration. I'm telling you, if you have not tried Adept Cosmetics, you have to. If you love beaming metallics, like that special formula, I think you would love it. I cannot wait to collect more from the brand. But here are some of those swatches on my arms, and I'm telling you, like, this does not do it justice. You have got to see this for your own eyes. Okay guys, so that wraps it up for me in today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this ranking. It's been such an amazing month. There's been so many new launches. I got the Winnie the Pooh Bear collection on my way to me. I got Jaclyn Cosmetics on the way to me. I have been buying some single shadows from indie brands. I'm going to build my own palette, share that with y'all. So there's just been so many great launches. I'm so excited. What palettes are you loving? What brands are you loving? What new makeup launches are you excited about? Please let me know. Thank you so much if you're still watching this. I appreciate you so much. So we're going to wrap this up. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you're healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye guys.